Okay, we're just going to finish off the Sicha we started this week on Yud Beis Tammuz from the year Tafshin Yud, 1950. Again, within the year of the passing of the Frierdiker Rebbe, a few months afterwards. This is the early years, very much his kashrus Verbrengans. So let's bring it up. Okay, so we're holding Sif Yud Daled. Rebbe says this, Doiver Kvar Nifneze. We spoke before on Chag HaShavuos, the Rebbe says, Oidis Atzorech, the Sakin is Inyan Hanasiya B'Shlichus Hamalach B'Tkupus HaKaretz. That the Rebbe felt that in the last years of the previous Rebbe's life, there was a certain kind of a weakening of what we call today Merkas Shlichus. Merkas, the Malach stands for Merkas Linyan Chinuch. Merkas Shlichus is when the young Bocherim, post yeshiva age, will go to different cities to sell Sfarim, to bring Yiddishkeit, to scout out the areas. And the Rebbe, it was till today the Bocherim go, it's called Merkas Shlichus in the summer. And the Rebbe felt in that year that it was getting weaker. So the Rebbe said he wants to be mechasik, he wants to strengthen that people should start getting on board to go again. The Rebbe continues. The Rebbe said last year, 1949, it wasn't the way the Rebbe would have liked. Again, the Rebbe was always in charge. Even in the life of the Frierdiker Rebbe, he was put in charge of Merkas Linyan Chinuch, which is otherwise known as Central Organization for Jewish Education. The Av She'ein Tzoykin Alav, the Rebbe says no point in crying in the past, for the past. Last year was last year. The Rebbe says the point is that we don't cry for what happened in the past, but to not take notice and try to correct past mistakes, that's not either the proper approach. The Rebbe continues, the Rebbe says, when you go on Merkas Shlichus, when you go on Shlichus on behalf of the Rebbe, you have to know the Rebbe is going with you. In any Omer, I'm not meaning to say, should I say Moim Ashtikul Rebbe? It doesn't mean to say that there's an element or a little bit of the Rebbe that goes with you on your travels in going out there and outreach into the cities and bringing Yiddishkeit, especially, usually the Bachram don't go to cities that are well populated. They'll go to places that haven't yet been, fresh ground. So the Rebbe is saying, it doesn't mean to say that a part of the Rebbe goes. Ki im kol etzem bilti nuschalik. The whole essence, and the essence is not divided. And if the Rebbe is going, he's going in his full form with each and every bacher and each and every shliach that goes to Merkas Shlichus. El Rebbe kuli, the ganze Rebbe, the Rebbe says the full Rebbe, im kol echad goes with each and every bacher, each and every individual that goes to Merkas Shlichus, the Rebbe is with him. Therefore, the Rebbe says, we must know. It's going to the responsibility we have when we go on the Merkas Shlichus. Shemlevad etzem ha'uvda shmatrichim kiviyachol. As a Rebbe, the Nsoye Imoyim b'chol makom shenois elav. You have to, the literal translation, the Rebbe says, aside from the fact that the tircha kiviyachol, we need to say that you're stressing out the Rebbe, or you're burdening the Rebbe, is a better word, to travel with you wherever you go. It's the side of the fact that the Rebbe is going wherever you go. The Rebbe is kind of alluding to the fact that if you go to places you shouldn't be going. The Rebbe is also watching in every single thing that you're doing, because he's with you. And he's examining your work. How are you fulfilling your job as a shliach? Therefore, when we go, we have to be very careful and diligent to do it properly. But the Rebbe continues also. The Rebbe says also in your personal behavior. People are looking at you as a Lubavitcher boy, and you represent the organization. When you behave properly, if someone looks at the Bachram of Yeshiva and they see that they behave properly, it inspires them, oh, I want to send my children there. Makes sense that my daughter should marry the Babajan boys. Look at the quality we have over here. But if you make a bad impression, not a good impression, then the consequences of a bad impression is also on you. The Rebbe says also, aside from those who are going American Shlichus, even those who are going home, those who are in yeshiva are going home in the summer break. Going home on a summer break doesn't mean you're exempt from doing your responsibility. You also have to go and know that in the place that you're going home to, you're shliach of the Rebbe there. The Rebbe is going with you even when you're going home. It's not a vacation. What's the real reason why Hashem made it so that you're going home? Not because you need to eat, I'm adding my own words here, your mother's food, etc. The Rebbe has a mission for you at home, in the home or your home city. The Rebbe Friedrich Rebbe once said to one of his messengers, you don't have to just take, you also have to give. Prize in ruchnius, you have to also give spiritual. You say more than that. It's not just to that a shadar also would go to collect money. So the Rebbe was telling a shadar that would go collect money for the yeshiva. It's like a fundraiser. It's not just, you're not just raising funds, you're also giving. And the Rebbe's ikr thing is to give, not to take. If the Rebbe really wanted, the Rebbe could figure out another way to get, if he needs the funds for the yeshiva. That's not to make it light. And someone should say, well, the Rebbe can find another way. Let him find another way. Why are you coming to me? That's an opportunity. More so. If while you're out there meeting with people, you can give someone advice, and something that's private, something that they need advice on. The Rebbe says, I'm sorry, I misexplained this line. The Rebbe says like this: if the Friedrich Rebbe is able to help someone in their business needs, and people came to the Friedrich Rebbe, to the Rebbe for their business needs, you think the Rebbe can't help himself in his business needs? If the whole idea of sending people out to fundraise was just for the funds, to the taking, not for the giving, the Rebbe would figure it out himself. So obviously, the Rebbe would figure it out himself. Obviously, there's also a deeper meaning to give when you're going to get. Therefore, we must say, the primary reason why you're going, even though it doesn't seem like it, is your ability to give and the impression you give. That's the way it always was. When the Shlichus would come to collect money, they were usually right check. These are people that meant foot fast. These are people that they gave much more than they received. The Rebbe says, because sometimes with the Yetzer Hara, the Satan thinks that you're coming to give, then he gets all worked up. If he thinks, okay, another schlepper is going to fundraise, Hashem uses the word schlepper on these special envoys of the Rebbe, but people think, oh, maybe the Yetzer Hara doesn't notice. But when he's realized that actually the chassid's coming to give, then all of a sudden he's going to get worked up, because that's the primary concern to the Yetzer Hara, to the Satan, that we shouldn't be giving. The Rebbe continues in number 15. Just like when you leave here, you know the Rebbe's going wherever you go. So too, when you come to the Rebbe, the Dalek Psalm shall the Rebbe to the Rebbe's four walls. Even if you're only coming on your vacation or your extra time. Or if your wife thinks it's a good time to come. You have to know that your primary space is here by the Rebbe. The Dalek Psalm shall the Rebbe, in the four walls of the Rebbe's space. But temporary, even if the temporary is very long, it could be 23 and a half hours every day. But the half hour you're by the Rebbe, that's your primary time. Is nice in Mikan, there's a person who is a Rav for one day. He labors man ela b'nefesh. It's like the story of Baby Rav, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 75 or something more than Pagiga. The story of Baby Rav was he traveled a long distance just for one day. That was all about that one day. So too the sukkah. It's not about the sukkah is the primary space, and everything else is secondary to that. This is the Gemara. The Gemara teaches us. Shalaslav when Mashiach comes. Finish off this for bringing with this idea. Avnei Beis Shel Adam, V'Koris Beis Shel Adam Me'idin Bay. The walls, the stones of the walls, and the ceilings of the house are going to testify what was going on in your life. There's no secrets. You think you're alone in a room, you have to know that the walls see, walls hear. Shneimar ki even makir tizod, v'kafis me'etzia haneh. That the stone is going to cry out, and the walls, the wood of the walls is going to say, even after thousands of years. From when that pasuk was said in the prophecy 79, the prophecy of Habakkuk, until today, everything that's been happening is being recorded. Until the Yom HaGadol, until the great day. Ya'idu Karsabais. So no matter, it could be a house that people lived in for hundreds of years, right? Some people come in, they move in, move out. The house is recording everything. There's no shortage of tape. They're going to say exactly what happened in the house. And how you behave by the Rebbe, the walls are surely watching. The place where the Rebbe learned and took people in for private audiences. The Rebbe connected his oneness with their oneness, the oneness of the soul, the yachid of the soul. Says surely the walls of the yeshiva of the Rebbe, the shul of the Rebbe, the room of the Rebbe, that we're sitting now, the Rebbe says, so the walls watched over the years of the Rebbe's happenings, and therefore the walls are very familiar with the Rebbe Shinyanim, so they know if something's the way it should be, shouldn't be. Achilik urak. Sheish ke'el shegam dal dam segashmish lem nimtzoim kan. Yesh ke'el shedal dam segashmish lem nimtzoim makom acher. Okay, just I want to go back. The Rebbe is saying also there's a flip side, something else. That it says the walls are very present. They see everything that's going on. So too, they see the positive, not just the negative. And therefore, when you go to the four walls of the Rebbe, in the space of walls that saw amazing things, it means the walls are alive. The ceiling's alive, just like for the negative, it's reporting everything. So too, it's taking in everything holiness. That's the primary point the Rebbe is making over here. That's why the Rebbe is saying when you come to the Dal Amos of the Rebbe, you're in a space that of walls and ceilings that took in Yechilus and took in Fabrengens and took in the Rebbe's davening and took in the Rebbe's being, and therefore these are holy walls, a holy space, because the walls are not just the pieces of stone and wood. They're walls that take in a situation, just like they're reporting what's happening in the negative, so too they're taking in all the positive. So when you come to the house of the Rebbe, you come into place, walls and a ceiling that sat here with the Rebbe for Brengen for 40 plus years. The walls tuck in, so to say. The whole Rebbe's whole essence. And that's why from this talk, you see the importance of going to places with the Rebbe was, not just to open up a sefer. That's why we go to the Rebbe's room, and that's why we daven in the 770. Even more than in the ways in the oil, if I may say, because this is where the Rebbe was doing things. The Rebbe sat in Fabrengen 770. The Rebbe sat in his room. The Rebbe sat in Yechidus for hours and hours and hours in both the upstairs, downstairs, in his room, all these places. So you sit there, you're sitting in rooms in a place where the Rebbe sat in Fabrengen, did the Yechidus, etc. The Rebbe says the difference is only. Some people bring their private, their physical with them when they come to the Rebbe. Are those who are smarter. They take their physical and they leave it someplace else, wherever that is, their home. And they have to take they take the Dal Amos of the Rebbe. It means depends, what are you taking with you? Are you schlepping around with your Yigashmis? You're taking from the Rebbe's room and bring it to your space. The Rebbe travels with you. And the energy of the Rebbe's space travels. When you take you don't bring your Gashmis to the Rebbe's Ruchnis, but you take the Rebbe's Ruchnis to your Gashmis. Therefore, the Rebbe's traveling with you. If the Rebbe's traveling with you, and the Rebbe's going to give you. He's going to give a flow of Kol Mitzdarach, everything you need. Like we said before, the Rebbe doesn't stay in debt. He has a debt to Chassid, he pays it. God doesn't hold up any reward for anyone. Therefore, the Rebbe is benching him. Have tremendous success in Ruba Bagashmi, both in physical Ruchnis is spiritual. You see, Miss Chazanow Project as the Rebbe finished this Fabring. Next week we're going to learn a mimer of the Rebbe, like we do during the week, for a half hour, some few 1 or 2, 3 days, it depends how long the mimer takes. Then we're going to learn the fabulous Sicha of this same year, Parshas Pinchas. So that's we're reading Pinchas now, but the primary message of the next Fabring and Tafshin Yud is about Shabbos and Varachim of. So the Rebbe finishes off with Yom Tov. I'm wishing everyone with Yom Tov again. Yud Beis Tammuz. Adis father Chassidus Nesef is still the next Fabring. Levad the Rebbe says surely, as the Rebbe Zol Gesundsein, the Rebbe will be healthy. The Rebbe is saying this after Yud Tafshin Yud. The Rebbe will be healthy. When someone wrote to the Rebbe, that uns führen and gegen Mashiach, and the Rebbe is going to lead us to Mashiach. Here be a speedily in our time. All right, this is short we have left. Wishing everyone a good Shabbos and a wonderful Shabbos till the next class.